everything was going along really, really good this morning. And then I came out here, was doing the updates with the computers and stuff. And I went inside, closed the heavy glass door, and I hear, "Help me, help me." From this long, faraway voice. And I go into the living room, I follow the noise, I go into the living room, and it's dark in the living room. And I said, "Where are you?" Well, then her voice comes from the stairway's door is open, but the light was off. And I turned, there she is, laying in the bottom of the stairs, upside down. And what happened is she went upstairs to get a sweater, because she didn't want to be cold out here. And got down 2 steps, stepped on the sweater. That put her off balance. She grabbed the handrail, took that one end of it off. Instead of hanging onto the handrail, she let go of it. And there she is coming down the stairs head first, about 20 steps. Lucky that that's where we store the toilet paper for the barn. Because she hit that toilet paper, it saved her head. Probably for getting a broken neck. So I managed to get her off the stairs into a chair, turned this chair around, and I says, "I'll push it to the couch." She didn't want me to push it to the couch. So I got her up on her feet, got her over there, got her laying on the couch, and then the pain starts. And it gets worse and it gets worse. So I called Shalisa. I called Shalisa in an emergency. Especially when I have anything to do in the barn here, because I got confidence in her on the barn thing here. And all you guys like her. And she's really not as ugly as I say she is. But so then I called Don. I called you, didn't I, Don?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, let's give you the bad news.
Yeah.
Then I called Paula. And I think before I called Paula, Linda says, "Call the ambulance." Not in those words. It was more like, "Oh, oh, oh." But I interpreted it, call the ambulance. So I did. Ambulance comes up here. You know that place out on I-96 towards Grand Rapids? It's about, say, 6 or 7 miles. They got one lane going both ways. You know, you can go through there 80 miles an hour with no trouble.
If you're in an ambulance?
Following an ambulance. The odd part about it is that I begin to worry because the state has not sent me my tabs, which I paid for. I just discovered this yesterday coming down from Chippewa Lake, from that jam up there, when this policeman stopped me in Stanton. He says you don't have tabs. I says, wow. I says, can I get out? He says, yeah, you can get out. I says, you got any guns with you? I said, no. I don't need guns. My neighbors got them. So if I need anything, I can call my neighbors. Anyway, go to the back of the car, and you know what? The guy was right. That officer was right. There was a 21 tab on there. It said September 21. So I says, I'll be darned. He says, go back into your car. Yes, sir, I says. And so I'm sitting there and I'm looking through my billfold for this registration. And I find lots of insurance papers. I find them all the way back 6 years ago. Boy, that brings up another story, which is really good. But I'm going to try to refrain from getting into the other one because this is supposed to be music. Anyway, I give them all these registrations, and he says, I'll go back to the car and call in and see if you've got tabs. He says, the state does not have my tabs registered, and in the house there, I have got a receipt that I paid them. In fact, I remember paying them, but as the policeman kept talking, I could remember, I don't remember putting them tabs on. I can remember everything else, but I remember buying them. I got the receipt. I don't know what would have happened if the policeman would have stopped me going helping my wife yesterday, but I paid for tabs. I've got tabs. In my mind, I've got tabs. So what am I supposed to be doing here?
Tell us about how
I
Fiddlers do
went to work one day. This is about 15, 20, 25, 30 years ago. Up to Ionia. Me and Len Pennington from Lake Odessa, we was working at Ionia Fiberglass. Oh, it was around 1983. There was something to do with recession or something. We didn't have any work, and we was up there working. And I'm driving up through there, and I'll be darned if a police officer didn't stop me on 66. And it was about 6:30 in the morning, and he says, give me your registration. So I reached in my billfold. I handed him a registration. He says, that's not the one. So I gave him another registration. He says, that one ain't the one. So I gave him another registration. He says, that ain't the one. So I gave him another registration. He says, give me those papers. So I handed him all them registrations. I like to keep stuff, for posterity and what do you call it? Records. Always kept good records. So he handed me this one. He says, that's not it. He says, that's not what. That's not it. Well, after he got done handing me about 6 of my registrations, he says, this is the one you want. Throw them other ones away. Well, it worked for a while, but now I got 3 of them.
How's Linda doing?
Let's see.
How's Linda doing?